Welcome to episode 1461 of the Multifamily Collective. Let's talk about the tyranny of choice. I think that in our current world, there is beyond a plethora of choices to make concerning anything. You can get a multitude of colors of the same running shoe. You can get multitude of colors of the same t-shirt. You can get a multitude of colors of the same vehicle that you drive. You go into a shop and there are 457 choices for hot sauce or ketchup or mustard or whatever. So the point is there is a lot of choice in the world. Now, suffice it to say that one could, using a line of logic, think that with more choice, you have more potential happiness because you get to narrow to exactly what you would like that would bring joy to your life in some way, shape, or form. But the problem with that thesis is that it's not correct. It's not proven out. When you look at science, when you look at studies, the studies suggest that the more choice you have, the more anxiety that wells up inside of you for having to make a choice between all the options. When you have to narrow down to a specific thing that you want to buy or do, you have anxiety that if you choose one, you're going to miss out on something because you didn't do the other. The reality of it is you don't know what you're going to miss out on this other thing because you didn't choose it, right? So there is no reason really to have any anxiety about it, but it is there. People have anxiety about choosing one thing over another because you're going to miss out on some outcome from that particular thing. So the tyranny of choice is not really in a general scheme of things a good thing. So let's tie that to multifamily property management. When you give too many options to let's use an example that happened to me recently. I was going to talk about a consumer experience. If you give the consumer too many choices in your property management platform to do whatever, but this happened recently. So we're doing a renovation in Midtown Atlanta, a beautiful building in by Radius in downtown Atlanta. And our team responsible for creating the design of the apartment finishes, picking the finishes, picking the design of the finishes and tying all those things together, obviously had many things to choose from, many palettes to choose from. So one day, actually several days, but we'll just speak to one day, I receive an email and that it has, let's say, 10 people in the 2 or the CCE lines, and there's a question. What do you think? And then there are pictures of finishes for countertop or cabinets, I believe, cabinet pulls. Yeah, I think that's what it was. If you hear this story down the road differently, it was maybe countertops, it was maybe something else. But anyway, the point still remains the same. This person asked 10 people what they thought about, it was a light fixture. It just came to mind. It was a light fixture, pendant lights that set over a sort of a kitchen bar area. 10 people. And you can imagine what the answers were, right? Let's say there were, to exaggerate for effect, there were 10 different choices made from the 10 different people that were asked. And these emails went back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. No one could settle. It was literally the tyranny of choice. There were too many choices in this respect. There were too many choices, but there were too many people trying to make those choices or the choice that needed to be made. And so my encouragement to you today is this: narrow the field before you even get to the field. If you can, in a scenario like I just described, limit the number of people that are actually making decisions. Get people in a room who actually have the skill and the expertise to make those choices, and then trust them to do it, and to do it swiftly with a few amount of people, not a lot of people. Or if you're trying to design an experience for a consumer or for a team member, don't put a lot of choices out there. Limit the number of choices and limit the number of people making those choices. Otherwise, you get this sort of tyranny effect that happens, and you never, that's a strong word. It takes a very long time to get to a decision, to get to an outcome. So, my encouragement to you is narrow it down. Don't put the stress on yourself. Don't put the stress on other people. Make choices, get skilled people in the room to make those choices, and then just go. Take care. We'll talk to you again soon.